like, why do we go to punk rock shows? Because it's something different. It's a better experience than anywhere else you'll go.
Like someone that you don't even know is standing right next to you. The band starts up, it's loud and it's fast, full of energy.
Yeah, I think half the audience there like lost their voices, like singing.
Yeah. You go to the gig, of course you know the gig, go to the gig everybody. Who you playing? I don't know. Who cares? Keep going.
I don't think it's really changed all that much. I mean, but it's like mutated many times.
Punk rock gives you something that, whether you're playing in the band or not.
One of the main reasons why I got into promoting shows was because when we go on the road and we tour, we meet a lot of bands, a lot of awesome people along the way that help us out a lot, and we just want to do the same thing when they come back to our city, so that's the main reason I started promoting. I've had a chance to work with some bigger bands, I mean D.O.A, SNFU, bands like that, but really what makes it worthwhile is being able to help out smaller bands that are coming through and want to play Regina and play for some people. I like to help them out the most. So. I think one of my favorite experiences with a show, at least a smaller size show in Regina over the last little while, was when we first did the May Day Festival. Rebel Spell and Static Thought played, so those are some bigger bands, one from Vancouver, one from California. But it was, I think, 9 bands overall, a handful of them were locals, 2 sides of the exchange, so 2 venues working together, and it was just a big communal experience, some punk, some hardcore, older people, younger people, different people from all over the country. So that was one of my favorite experiences. It just seemed like a really positive and really fruitful experience for everyone that was involved in it. I guess over the last few years especially, there's been kind of a decline in interest in it. I mean, it seems like, especially with new technologies and stuff like that, people just aren't interested in going out and getting sweaty at a punk rock show anymore. It feels like, I don't know. And that's not always the case, but it's always been a struggle, but it seems over the last couple of years it's been even more of a struggle to get people interested in coming out to punk rock shows.
Don't cut nothing. Where'd my beer go?
Can we say
I'm drinking it. Fuck.
So a lot of young kids aren't into it at all.
Yeah, that's the biggest thing I
Or
noticed.
they are, but like it's so much more accessible to get into it in the mainstream, I guess, and maybe they don't need to take the time for what's underground. Just too bad, but
yeah, they miss the value maybe of being a part of the scene. You know, seeing it live, because they can check everything out online first. Judge you on a shitty recording, and you lose half your audience.
I don't think there's anywhere that has had the atmosphere that the Manhattan Room ever did. But
yeah, it's not quite the same. It's just because you don't have that ability for guaranteed weekend.
But it's not the same.
Kind of kept it in one place, made it a little bit tighter to community because you always
because
were there with everyone every single weekend.
The thing is it was every Saturday. It was every fucking Saturday, no matter what. And you'd have 50, 60, 70 plus people who would show up every Saturday, no matter what was going on, and they just show up because they knew it was somewhere to go. It wasn't anything else. It was just that good, and we miss it. Like I miss it.
So I mean, there's still some really, really good bands around, but there's not quite as many bands, and I feel like the fans are not necessarily more selective, but they're maybe not out as forced as we used to see them. But we had a more dedicated venue, which really made a difference. We're at a venue that was, by and large, you knew it was punk rock. You knew the understanding. Saturday night, without question, there was going to be 110, 150 people there, whether they're touring bands or not, and that really grew the scene.
I know one of the bands that was kind of a lightning rod for a little while was Invasion. They were like a lightning rod for more hardcore punk rock stuff like that was coming through. And when they broke up, we really kind of lost our hardcore scene altogether. And but I don't know if it's like that for punk rock. We still have lots of great bands. I mean, there's Tomorrow Starts Today and Red Brigade and the Clusterfucks, those sorts of bands. There's lots of great bands. I just don't think it's not so much that they don't have a draw, it's just that I don't think people are interested, or they're not aware of what's going on maybe, or something like that, because it's just not as it's not on people's lips as much. People aren't talking about it as much as they once were.
Yeah, it's like back to the community thing again, right? Like someone that you don't even know is standing right next to you. The band starts up, it's loud and it's fast, full of energy. And then you just kind of look over at the other guy and yes, this is what we're here for, and
we're on the same page,
yeah. Same page.
Yeah.
Like music's a big part of life because like music picks you up and makes you happy when you're down. That's one of the great things about music, right? It's like an escape, but it's also like a little tap into reality when you hear like a lyric you really like, or like a groove within a song or a beat. Or
it's not just music. It's not just people beating their chests. It's always got some sort of message, whether it's social, political, even personal, spiritual, something like that. It always seems that there's some sort of further intent with punk rock than there is with other music. And that's not always the case, but I think punk rock has always had the kind of messages that I cling to.
I got sick of going to school and hearing Led Zeppelin in the parking lot. Like, I think they're a good band and everything, and I've grown to appreciate them over years, but I just couldn't relate to bands like that. Like, big bulges in your pants and like big hair. Like, how do you fucking relate to that? You listen to the lyrics and like, punk rock like opened up my mind, like topics that I never even thought about, I heard in that music, and also the music itself. Like the first time I heard the fast beat, I was like possessed. It was like the coolest thing I've ever heard, and just got addicted to it. Back then it was like, you'd buy a CD or a tape, I guess, and you'd look at the thank you list, and then go find all the bands, that band that you love, thanked, and check them out. A lot of that stuff back in the day wasn't like really well played, but that was like a lot of those bands got better as they progressed, but that was the whole like beauty of it, It was my band.
I don't know if you can pander to people. I think when people are interested in punk rock, they're interested in punk rock, and they'll always be. And so I think the tides just shift, so you just have to keep doing what you can, I think, and you keep working your hardest, and you keep helping it grow as best as you can and contributing to it as best as you can, and you hope that people start getting interested again, I guess.
Any last words? Any thoughts?
Rhubarbs fucking rule, man.
See live music.
Yeah. Occupy your local venues.
We're really nice.
Make sure you get involved in something. You become passionate with it. It's the only way we're ever going to do anything.
We play a lot of shows.
So where do I look?
Me. That was good.
think for yourself, be your own boss, and try and affect some positive change in this world. And you can make it happen.
If you go to thisisastandoff.com, you'll see where we played, and you can learn nice, fun facts about the band. Little anecdotes, secrets.